Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people, where my motto is that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What that basically means, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Whether I like it or not, whether I admit it or not, I am a preacher. And what I want for you is the same thing that has been instilled in my heart as a message from the Almighty God that creator of you, the people, all of you, wants for you in this lifetime while you're in these bodies. That is that you experience your dreams in its fullest. Just the other day, November 30th, 2011, I contacted a television station, news department, and invited them to a city council meeting here in Woodbury, Minnesota, to take place on the 14th of December. They're going to have a regular city council meeting, I understand, and at each meeting they have a little segment, should I say, where the public get a chance to make a statement about whatever concerns them. And I plan to be there. For many of you who don't know it, I was a candidate on the November ballot of last year to become the mayor of the city of Woodbury. Obviously, I lost. But what I have done, ladies and gentlemen, I offered to Woodbury, the city of Woodbury, the same things that was introduced to me 33 years ago. Nothing has changed. I remember in the early 90s, I ran for mayor of the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, against the candidate Norm Coleman, who ended up being the United States Senator from Minnesota at one time. And at that time, I was walking around with people who called themselves up and out of poverty, fed up with it and ain't gonna take it no more, taking over buildings, protesting, outright speaking everywhere. I was right there beside them because their concerns were my concerns. And when the election came around, they came and told me that they didn't think I stood a chance of winning. And so they put their support behind candidates who, well, not candidates, but political parties who have always left them out. And naturally, since they had always been left out, they were left out again. And so this has been the crux of my campaigning. And my campaign usually is an opening for me to stand up and glorify God in a different kind of way than I have seen him glorified in my lifetime. And to no avail, really, in the interest of change. People just stick to what they know and pray for what they don't know, and when it knocks on their door, they close it in his face. And now I've advocated an interest in becoming a candidate, a write-in candidate for the presidency of the United States 2012. And the reason that I'm doing that is because there is a group of people who are evident in this country today that have learned that the norm is not sufficient for them. They call themselves the occupiers, the 99%ers, those who have been denied and are being castigated by 1%, those people who have amassed all of the funds and all of that which is considered to be assets, wealth in this nation. They have accumulated more than 99% of this nation's people. And these people have gone out in the streets. They have taken over certain spots in city halls and at Wall Street and at the state capitol. They've pitched up tents and they've protested. They've stayed out for periods of time, weeks, months. They are living in the cold, standing out there making a statement. They have been dragged, beaten, pepper sprayed, and put in prison. So this is an indication to me that times have changed, that the people truly have recognized, and if the voice stands up and speaks for them, then perhaps they can garner their support for a different kind of candidate. But I'm not naive enough to think that just because they standing out there that they really are ready for the kind of changes that they think they're ready for. Because I know that in that 99% you have people out there who represent Republicans. We have people out there who represent Democrats. You have people out there who represent Green parties, Libertarian parties, and perhaps some of even the Tea parties. You have people out there who represent the various religious groups, and we know how divided they are. And so what we have out there is a group of divided people on the same page of being oppressed. And when I come before them and say, I want to be your leader, your representative, your president. I'm basically saying to them that regardless of what your particular interests are, every last one of your interests are important. Evident by the fact that you're all standing out here in the cold. Evident by the fact that you're all standing out here being pepper sprayed, being beaten, and going to jail. So no concern out here, no individual concern, or no group concern out here is more important than another individual concern or another group's concern. Every last one of you are important. And if you can identify and certify that your importance is equal to any other's, but no more, then I'm the man for you. Why? Because you know Republican doesn't care about you. That's why you're out here. You know that the Democrats don't care about you, and that's why you're out here. And so you have to care about yourself. If you care about yourself, I'm out here to teach you and to share with you a new way. And what way is that? Well, when we think of Republicans, we say the Republicans care about the wealthy. They care about the rich. Evident by the fact they want to see change, but they don't want to see those who got money pay 1 penny in addition to what they've already paid. They don't care how much they cut off those who don't have anything, but nothing from those who got. Now the Democrats, they care a little bit more for the masses than the conservative Republicans. They just do, but they don't care about everybody. How many times have you heard Republicans or Democrats talk about the poor? Republicans talk about all people, but we know who they're talking about. Democrats talk about all people, but they're talking about middle class. Now, when I come to you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not coming to you as a representative of my own ideology beyond what I have been taught. I'm coming to you as a representative of one that you go to church to every Sunday hearing your preacher talk about. Those of you who go to church. And those of you who don't, who have been discouraged by what you see in reality, but yet still have some connection to it. There's a power that made Republicans and Democrats, made Baptists, Methodists, Catholics, Jews, whatever, made all of you. And love you, all of you. What is the evidence? The evidence is that no one brings anything into this earth but except themselves and a mind. No one takes anything out of this earth. They even leave their body and a mind. They leave it here. So everything that's here belongs to the great Creator. Nothing belongs to you or me. And yet we're put here with necessities. And those necessities being met, the ingredients necessary to meet them are already here. All we have to do is use our minds that have been given to us, and we can cause a manifestation of all these things that we have considered as essential to bring us peace, happiness, and comfort in this life. Now, that was all set up by the Creator. So I'm coming to the American people and saying, this is where I want to go. I want to see no more poverty because God didn't make poverty. Man made poverty, and we want to eradicate it. I want to make sure, as a representative of God, just like those soldiers went over and represented the United States in Iraq, just like the soldiers went over and represented the United States in Afghanistan, I am here in the United States of America representing heaven, representing the Master of heaven, that thy will be done on earth as in heaven. You want to see Americanism operated in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and all across the globe. You want to see that. But God wants to see God represented in America as well as all across the globe. And it is my responsibility to bring it to you. To bring it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I realize that for 33 years I have been denied. God has been denied. The message has been denied. And the chances that those who are standing out there in the cold and going through all of these changes, the occupiers, the 99%, will probably, or at least they have open to them, a rejection of this approach, and will go for what they know, to stay in the condition that they've been in, hoping, just hoping, that if the Republicans get in, they would make things a little bit better. Or if the Democrats stay in, they will make things a little bit better. You see, that's a hope. What I'm offering to you, ladies and gentlemen, is a guarantee. A guarantee because you become the government. You got representatives who don't represent you. But when you become the government, when you become protectors of one another, then you are assuring yourselves that any representation that you get will speak for you. They will go there and speak for every last one of you. You will make sure that every American that wants a job got one, but not just a job, but a job of choice. You will make sure that every American has access to health care and dental care, unlimited and unrestricted. You will make sure that every American have access, my friends, to education, unlimited and unrestricted. And out of this education, out of this health care, and out of the opportunity to have a job of your choice, we will be able to create a reservoir of goods and services that will overflow beyond these borders, that the rest of the world can look down at America and say, what in the world is that? And how did they get there? And I want to know. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? They don't have to send anyone in, spies, to try to find out what's going on. We will hold it up on a plaque so they can read it. We protect one another. We are protectors of one another. And they can copy that. We, my friends, I'm talking to you about a brand new way of doing things. Just the other day I heard some guys on TV talking about Tebow, quarterback for the Denver Broncos. They're saying he's not what you call a normal quarterback, but he gets the job done. And sometimes he's kneeling down as if maybe he's praying. That's what they think he's doing. And I heard some group of kids talking about he's a Christian before he's a football player. And that is a symbol to them of something that they would like to emulate. Now, what does that mean to say that he's a Christian and that means something special? I mean, what message is there any more Christian than the message that I bring to you about a society in America? Well, nobody says that's Christian. Everybody runs away from it. You know why? Because they have been taught that perhaps the government that they live under is Christian, that money comes from heaven, that the way that we do business in America comes from heaven. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that right now, our economic situation is causing a great oppression on many, many people. And I correlate that with the same thing as we had slavery. Slavery was accepted according to those who were promoters of it. It was divine, from God, all in the Bible, slavery. But a mind, an enlightened mind, found its way in the people. And the people rejected slavery. And a lot of people died because a lot of people wanted slavery to continue because they benefited from it. And they didn't care how much pain and suffering it caused others. But the will, that which is right, overcame. And we were able to get rid of slavery as we knew slavery to be in that time. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that slavery still exists. Every poor person is a slave. Every person who's living from paycheck to paycheck is a slave. Every individual in America who has dreams of doing things and can't do it because of finances that they wish they could change but can't is a slave. And I stand before you as a representative from the Almighty heaven to say that this form of slavery must go. I don't care who runs the country. I don't care who has the money. It is against God's will. And I'm asking people all over this country who believe in God to support this cause. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know as well that just like many soldiers died in Afghanistan, many soldiers died in Iraq, in World War I, World War II, the Vietnam conflict, and as well as the Korean conflict. People died, gave their lives for what they believed in. Civil War, people died, gave their lives for what they believed in. The Revolutionary War, people died, gave their lives for what they believed in. And this will be no less. Those who believe in justice, those who believe in peace, prosperity, and joy, must be willing to lose their lives. Because it is only through losing your lives that the blind's eyes will be open. And as one who's championed this cause and stands before you, there have been many who have died for this cause. Gandhi did. Malcolm X did. Martin Luther King did. guys and ladies all over the country whose name seems to be silent because they weren't high profile, gave their lives for causes such as this. And if I think for a moment that my life might not be required, then I would be a fool. But I know that it might just have to go. But what I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, is that what I'm telling you is absolutely true. You can have the peace, the prosperity, and joy that I've advocated here. You can have it, but you got to be willing to pay the price. You might lose your life, but your child might benefit. Your child might not benefit, but your grandchild might benefit. What I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, in order to benefit from it, somebody got to stand up. You can't keep passing the buck from generation to generation to generation. And I say if it is required, and I know it, and I tell you, then the buck stops here today. The buck stops here today. And the changes come about because God Almighty has touched me and you. And we are willing to stand for justice, to stand for peace, to stand for prosperity, and to stand for joy. Now I'm asking that 99%, who is disgusted with what's going on, how can I lose? Well, I can lose just like those up and out of poverty people back in the 90s who I walked with, championed their cause, came to me and said, I don't think you can win. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about winning. It's about standing up for who you are. It's about standing up for what you represent. Now, if you say that you are fed up with what the Republicans and the Democrats have given you, and they got you out on those streets, paper spraying you, going up there trying to get together, negotiate for football stadiums and other stadiums while you are homeless and your houses are being taken and you have no jobs and they're trying to, and you go back and vote them into office, then why get on your knees and pray? Why even go to church hearing some preachers talk about some stuff when they don't even stand up with you? I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, the day has come for you to wake up and let the spirit of life enter into your being and bring about a brand new day. Yes, as a candidate, I would have to be a write-in. Why? Because no money is coming in here for me to pay for advertising, for me to give the system more money. No, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the will of God, the will of Eddie Marcus, the will of you, the people. You must make sure that everybody across this country know that change is coming, and you are bringing the change. You are accepting the responsibility of standing up for yourselves and standing up for one another. And you mean it. This is nothing about fed up and not going to take it no more and then go and take it. This means you mean it. You mean it. And when you mean it, we can't lose. I don't care if they take me out tomorrow or take the next person out or the next person out or 100,000 of us. We can't lose. We cannot lose as long as you know that the power of justice, the power of righteousness, the power of love rests in you. So when you go to those polls, my name won't be on that ballot, but there will be a blank space saying if you don't want these other guys, then write down who you do want. Write down Eddie Marcus. And if you're sincere about this, I know you have not heard enough information to persuade you that this that I present to you is authentic. But I'm willing and ready to come and speak to you at any time, answer any questions that you might have. Just let me know and help me get there, because I'm broke. Well, the choice is yours. Republicans, Democrats, or God. Remember, I didn't say a name behind the Republicans. I didn't say a name behind the Democrats. And I didn't say a name behind us. But the Democrats have a representative. The Republicans have a representative. And God is seeking a representative. And ladies and gentlemen, that representative is you. Bye-bye.